Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm bringing you all a new update for my cast character revamp project, and as you saw on my other channel, I'm most likely assuming you watched my video. I believe GT Vegeta is the spotlight character on that channel. It was originally going to be Super 17, but I changed my mind. I found GT Vegeta, and man, I really like GT Vegeta, so I thought it was only proper to do GT Vegeta a service by making him the highlight character, but that doesn't mean none of the other characters are good too, so hopefully you guys are pretty excited to learn about the other 5 characters, or 4 characters, plus their PvP souls in this update video for my 7.1 update. As usual, the update's out. At this point, the link should be in the description. I mean, assuming I remember to put it there, because knowing me, it's probably not there, but I'm hoping I remember to put it there, so you can check it on there, but I'm pretty sure you guys already know where to find it, so let's quickly just go over the patch notes first. So, version 7.1, Patrick sub, you don't worry about that. Okay, so the introductory text was changed. Before I get into it, I just want to go over, I do like going over the character detail, or the patch notes as well, just so you guys know what was changed. Anytime something is changed in here, I put it in the data, so you guys know I didn't do anything funky, so even if it's something that you guys don't like the next line, well, at least I'm being honest, right? So the introductory text was changed. This was just the opening message in the actual installer. I just edited it up, patched it up a little bit to make it a lot more readable, I guess. Goku GT no longer has a voice. Okay, so look. This one is very hard to... Let me explain myself. So the reason I did this was not because I'm not a fan of the dub voice for GT Goku, but because of Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 has a little oddity with GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku where he actually doesn't have a voice. He only has a few voice lines, and that's what I wanted to represent with this. I thought it just made GT Goku super badass. If you guys really don't like this change, I will revert it. But I really think GT Goku's a lot more badass with this change. I could be wrong. Just feel free to, please let me know if you don't like it. I'll change it if enough people don't like it, I guess. But for right now, he doesn't have a voice. GT Goku also has new character select voice lines. Yeah, pretty, kind of the opposite of this, huh? Yeah. So the internal data was changed. Don't worry about that. This is just random shit that doesn't actually affect the game. It's just just doesn't matter, man. Okay, relax. So we have Goku GT's character exclusive Super Soul. Very exciting. I personally have grown to really like GT Goku after his Super Soul. He's a lot more fun to play as. He's very just agile as I go over. He's going to be very cool. And his skill set was revamped. When I say their skill set was revamped, this means all their variations got revamped. The variation that received the Super Soul, which is all of them, all GT Gokus have the same Super Soul, all their skill sets were revamped. So keep an eye out for that in the game. Super 17 as well, he got a new skill set as well. He desperately needed one, dude, oh my gosh. Trunks GT as well has his character exclusive Super Soul. He's a very, very tactical character. We'll go over him. He got his new skill set as well. Bikini, Towa, and Towa had their energy zones sped up by 2 times. And both Towas now have full power energy wave instead of super key explosion. Alright, so Towa, right? Yeah, Towa. Good old Towa. Her ultimate attack gives this effect to the allies. If you can, put 2 and 2 together, you're going to realize how absurd this is. And look, I'm not going to lie. I will change the Super Soul details if it's so needed. For example, let's head over down here to 7.0. Let's take a look. Dragon Fist Goku. His PvP soul no longer has the effect cannot be grabbed or stamina broken by ultimates due to the fact it was incompatible with certain moves. Instead, Goku will now shorten his guard break time by an additional 20% replacement. Future Gohan, he has this ability. Dragon Fist Goku had it originally, but now he has this instead. I will change effects if needed. But Towa, right? Towa, good old Towa. She's a little too crazy for my liking. I am not a fan of her. This is absurd. This here. I did not realize how overpowered this was. So, Towa is only as good as her ultimate attacks let her be. That's why her specific energy zones were sped up. She has full power energy waves at a key explosion. You put 2 and 2 together. GT Vegeta as well has gotten his character exclusive Super Soul, and his skill set was revamped. Of course, he's the main showcase character of the last video. We probably won't be going over GT Vegeta for too long. And Pan as well, so all 5 characters got their Super Souls. This is a GT-centric themed update, so I hope you guys are fans of GT. You're probably not, but, well, this is just, you know, I mean, they're all going to be done eventually, so may as well do them now, right? So, yeah, those are the characters that are getting buffed and all the changes. No bug fixes this time, however, a new bug I am now aware of is this right here. DBZ Broly is actually debuffing himself instead of the enemy in his Super Soul. This little beautiful line right here, well, this is actually applying to him, not the enemy. And you don't need to be a rocket scientist to realize that this is very bad for Broly. Very bad, especially if these are both active. Yeah, so this will be amended. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to... I really don't like having to change shit after it's out, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So I'm probably just going to give him a new effect or put the damage up here. I don't know. But I'm aware of this. I found it by mistake. But I'm very glad I found it. Okay. Those are the patch notes. I'm aware of this as well. Still not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm aware of it. Okay, so now we will be going over the details for what you guys are waiting for, and that we are starting out with Goku GT. Goku GT. His Super Soul. His non-CAC effects present on all of the GT Gokus. All GT Gokus, including his shirtless version. I understand that's Universal Spirit Bomb, but point to me which skill is the Universal Spirit Bomb. It doesn't exist in the game. That's why, and I just don't feel it necessary to give GT Goku his own Super Soul for that costume, so all GT Gokus get this. I understand, you know, the Universal Spirit Bomb could be very interesting, but it doesn't exist in the game, and I don't know what to tell you. So his Super Soul is called, I'll make this one hurt. At the start of the map, the following effects occur to itself. I will say, GT Goku is very fun, so hopefully this makes up for it. GT Goku gets a 15% health increase. Now, most characters are getting 25%, 30%, 30%. Oh, Mira's a 10. Yeah, okay. I don't want to go over Mira, but yeah. Mass Saiyan's 30, First Form Cell is 20. Yeah, GT Goku only gets 15. And even Vegeta GT's at 20. So GT Goku's a little less, but he makes up for it, don't worry. He gets 60% key and stamina. That's about, like, what, 7.5 bars or something? He gets a 30% damage, which isn't great, but we'll once again go over it. 10% damage reduction, and then this little ability. Shorten zone revival time by 15%. Alright, listen. Alright. I am going to, you know, say that this ability here is probably the best ability any character can have. I can't begin to explain to you how nice it is to be able to just get revived, like, at a faster speed. Like, it's so nice, man. I love this ability. It's like Zamasu has it. He's just like, Pikkon has it. And then combined with Supreme Kai Time Revive Ally Speed. Oh man, dude. So nice. So good. 25% speed. Just make him a lot faster. And then boost effects on allies. Shitty mechanic. Hopefully it's a little better now. And then his ninth effect is, when Super Saiyan 3 is used, the following effects apply to self whilst in transformed state. No limit. Permanent. 40% extra key and stamina. This is going to give him about 11 of each. He has a lot of key and stamina. To add on to that, he actually gets some stamina recovery. This is great, because he desperately needs stamina recovery with how much stamina he has. Some extra speed, and 100% damage. This is great. I love how much damage. He does a lot of damage now. With Super Saiyan 3, combined with the fact that he actually gets an extra 100% damage on top of the 30% up here. Man, I'm telling you, he's crazy. He does very, very good damage in hard parallel quests, man. I really like GT Goku. However, as a cost, his ki will always be reduced to 0. And an eagle-eyed viewer will realize he doesn't have ki recovery. So ki might be a little bit of an issue, but... Effect 10. When this character just cards an attack, the following effects occur to self 5 times only. Key recovery plus 100% up to 500%. So, you're out there on the battlefield, mixing the enemy, hitting just guards, you're getting your key recovery, man. Super Saiyan 3. With how much ki he needs, I mean, it's very nice. And 5% damage drop up to 25%. If you saw my original video, with GT Vegeta, I talk about GT Goku being tanky. Well, yes, he has 35% damage reduction. 35%. That is very, very good. He's very tanky, but he's not too crazy. But I would like to point out, if before release I am not happy with how a character is performing, or I'm too happy with how a character is performing, I will change a character before release. If you're not aware, I don't want to talk about this for too long, but Mira, he was heavily hindered when he came out in the game. This was too crazy. This here. This had to be toned down, and some of his stats up here. I did not nerf him that bad. I'm telling you that, I did it. He's great. Mira is one of my favorite characters to bring as an ally because of this. This is so nice. But he was too crazy, man. Too crazy for the game. So we get just toned down a little bit. Goku GT, I love him now, but, you know, I will change him if needed. Alright, Super 17. President on Super 17. It's hopeless. Here, let me show you why. At the start of the match, the following effects occur to self. He gets a 30% health increase. This is crazy. This is the highest characters get, is 30%. He's in, like, high double greens, man. He's very good at 50% ki recovery and ki, 30% stamina recovery, 35% damage. So he has this mechanic here. 10% damage reduction to basic melee ki blast and special strike attacks, and 50% damage reduction to special ki attacks. This is a very good ability that makes it so he doesn't take as much damage from ki blast. This is similar to actually the Dragon Fist Goku. He does the same thing with strike attacks, but at a higher number. Super 17 will get flubbed up by this, by strikes and all that shit, but his blast penetration isn't going to be, you know, I mean, he won't be able to penetrate his blast defense. It's not going to happen. And then the effects gained and all that. That's the 7th effect. However, this should say effect 8, not 9. I'm sorry, I forgot. Don't mind me. Okay. Alright. So, his 8th effect is, applies the following effects to self 5 minutes after the battle. I'm sorry, I can't speak. Applies the following effects to self after 5 minutes have passed from battle start. Permanent. 100% health. This is secretly one of my favorite abilities characters get, is healing. I love the fact that 5 minutes in, if you're dead, you just heal. If you're 5 minutes pass. You can time the heal, too. So you don't have to use an item or something. It's great. 50% speed, you know, them catch up with the enemies. A special damage boost of 45%. Newsflash, shocking death ball sucks ass. I will die on that hill. It's terrible. So, give him some extra special damage. He has, remember, he got a new move set as well, so he has a second ult as well. I'll let you guys figure out what it is in game, though. Then, he gets an extra 10% damage reduction to his damage reduction stats. Very nice. He gets 60% damage reduction to blasts, which is nice. If it's too crazy, though, once again, I will change it before release. Description will contain all nerfs or buffs contained in the update. I would like to point out that Trunks Xeno was actually buffed. This was 10 seconds, now it's 12 seconds. In the breakdown video, it was 10 seconds, but I changed it to 12. So, he's a little better now. So, I do buff the characters as well. I don't just nerf them. Okay, just pointing that out. Okay, so, this is where Super 17 gets crazy, as I mentioned. He builds up. When Hyper Ring connects, the following effects occur to self 7 times only. Max stamina plus 15% up to stamina cap. This is insane. Alright, this is crazy. He gets stamina cap, 15 stamina bars. That's crazy. And he also has a great evasive energy field. He is great when this is fully built up. He gets 119% damage, 17% up to 119 when Hyper Drain hits. And his ki gets reduced to 0. He does Omega levels of damage when this is up. Omega levels. Omega, man. It's crazy. Alright? It's nice. It's very nice. Now, I should point out, he doesn't have stamina recovery. He only has 30%, which isn't very high, right? It's very low, actually. But it's offsetted by how great he is defensively. So, Super 17 is He was actually the original idea for my Spotlight video on my main channel. He was the original character, but I thought GT Vegeta was more fitting. For time's sake, we probably won't cover GT Vegeta, but we'll just skim over him. Trunks GT is next. He gets 30% health. Oh, his Super Soul Skill gets on back up as usual. 30% health, Super 17 gets it, we know how good it is. 20% Ki sucks ass, like, normally, but with Trunks GT, he doesn't need Ki. So it doesn't really matter too much. I just wanted to give him something, just, you know, to help him out a tiny bit. He gets 50% stamina recovery, very good. He gets 50% damage, which is great. Characters nowadays, I feel like, need to do damage to each other. You know, it's like you're fighting fucking Vegeta in a PvP game with your friend, and then you're not doing any damage otherwise. So that's why I want to give him damage. I just felt, and plus, you know, in hard parallel quests, you know, sitting there, hitting Just Guard and doing no damage just isn't fun, so they give him some damage, you know, so we can keep up. 20% damage reduction, great. I love this. I love the reviving ally speed. I try, you know, to give it when it's needed and necessary. Trunks is a distraction/support character. You definitely want this on him. Plus this 30% speed is crazy. Like, whew, like, I mean, that's crazy, man. Abso-freaking-lutely. Give me a second. Okay. Alright, so, and then his ninth effect is, oh, and he gets effects gained. When dancing Parpar is used, the following effects apply to stuff during the length of the attack. Target will be forced to lock onto you. This is great. No limit. You use dancing Parpar, bam, they're locked onto you. Nothing they can do. They just lock onto you. This only applies to the target enemy. This does not apply to the entire enemy battlefield. This is great to get the enemies off your allies. However, he only has 20% damage reduction, but he gets this. This should say 2, not 4, I'm sorry. The target will be forced to lock onto you, and you get 60% damage reduction. This only applies for the first hit of the attack. Meaning, if you're using Dancing Parpar and someone shoots a Kamehameha at you, only the first hit of the projectile will be counted with a 60% damage reduction. It'll get reduced to the 20% afterwards. This is just so you don't get sniped while you're using the attack. But you can easily take a lot of damage if you're not careful. This is just great for allies, man. This is just such a nice ability. It's not crazy if a bot uses it, but if a human's playing as Trunks, you got some shit going your way, let me tell you. And then finally, when performing an ultimate attack, applies the following effects to self for the duration of the skill, no limit. He gets health auto-recovery. This is great. He has a way to heal himself. GT Vegeta as well, of course, has this as well. But he is just permanent. Trunks, whenever he ults, he'll heal a little bit, which is just very nice, man. And he also gets 500% stamina damage. Pretty much going to guarantee your enemy gets stamina broken, and then he gets strike super damage plus 150%. Yes, strike super, not super damage, strike super damage. It's specifically strikes. But he has strike-based ultimates, so don't worry about that. You'll be doing a lot of damage with your ultimates. But at the same time, you got to be a little careful as you only have 20% damage reduction. It's very easy to get caught with just 20%, but you thankfully can heal yourself, so that's good. Trunks GT is very fun. We talked about GT Vegeta on the main channel. You know, he's just really good. I love this ability. This right here is my favorite part about him. This is great too, though. Like, do not. I gotta freaking fix this. Okay. It's definitely GT Vegeta is great. He's just very fun. I really like him. And Pan, she's just a strike version of Supreme Kai Time. You remember her Ki Blast support? Well, Pan is just the strike version. However, her stats spread's different. Like, Supreme Kai Time only gets 20. She gets 25% speed for ally revival. Pan's 20, but she gets 80% damage, 20% health, 70% stamina recovery, speed 20%, 100% boost when boosting allies, and level 2 limit burst. That's what Pycon gets, I believe. Yeah. So, Pan is, Pan's very good. Pan's very good. And then she does the strike damage. I am probably going to end up lowering this to 50% before she comes out, so keep that in mind. I will put it in the description if it's nerfed, but it probably won't be. But those are the new Super Souls, guys. But before we finish up, let's go over the PvP Souls. Alright, so GT Goku, same thing. No limit, transform Super Saiyan 3. He doesn't reduce his Ki to 0, but his stats, he gets a lot less. It pretty much is cut in half for everything, right? Pretty good still, though. And then this last effect, he only needs Just Guard twice, but he gets less stats overall, right? Pretty good still, though. Super 17. His PvP soul's a little bit different as well. His effect now applies after 30 seconds instead of 5 minutes, and he only gets 15% health and 25% special damage, as opposed to the laundry list of abilities his base one gets. And also his Hyper Drain only stacks twice, but he doesn't reduce his key to 0 anymore, but his stats he gets less. Trunks GT. The same ability as his PvE version, but it always limited to 5 times. This can get absurdly ridiculous in a PvP game. There's no way this is not having a limit. I feel like 5 is still too many, but, like, you know, it's you do want to gimmick around a little bit, you know? I gotta once again fix this. And then he only gets this ability one time now, with a heal and the stamina damage and strike super damage. Only one time, and the damage and stamina damage is way less. GT Vegeta. His abilities have been bumped up to 15%. This only activates once now. He doesn't give himself buffs, and it lasts for 10 seconds, but the chance is higher, so it's more likely to activate. Same thing here. GT Vegeta once again gets stats when he gets hit by an attack. So, but it only activates once, higher chance, but less stats. Pan as well is literally this verbatim Supreme Kai of Time. Once again in PvP. Same thing, right? 30 seconds for the support buff. And this character Just Guarding only activates twice. She gets bossed by Just Guarding instead of killing enemies. But that's it for the update today, guys. I hope you guys are very excited to try this out. By the time this video comes out, the patch will be live. Probably in the description if I remember. I'm pretty sure I hopefully will, but... guys, I'm all out of time. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.